Greetings Game Watchers, I'm Chris Capel, and well, look what the Bat dragged in. In June this year, Batman Arkham Knight, the long-awaited final chapter in Rocksteady's epic Batman Arkhamverse trilogy was released, and swiftly pulled from sale. As you undoubtedly know, the PC version was a hot mess. Barely any graphics options, tons of bugs, a poor 30 frames per second cap, and extraordinarily badly optimised. The vast majority of gamers were left with a game that chugged and lagged at every opportunity. Now, just 4 months later, at last Warner Bros. And Rocksteady have deemed Batman Arkham Knight fit for consumption on PC. Hooray. The story starts a few years after the events of Arkham City. The Joker's dead, crime is at an all-time low, and nothing can possibly go wrong. Until it does. The Scarecrow unleashes his fear toxin on Gotham, the city evacuates, and a new foe called the Arkham Knight and his well-trained militia takes over the city. It's up to Batman to take Gotham back, but the cost might be too great this time. A lovely setup, and if you haven't had the whole thing spoiled for you by now, I won't either. But I will say there is at least one excellent twist involving the Joker, and the story is excellently acted by the likes of longtime perfect Batman Kevin Conroy and veteran film actor John Noble doing a very creepy Scarecrow. That all said, the plot simply didn't grip me as much as any of the previous Arkham games, including Origins. Apart from the aforementioned early twist, it's all pretty predictable. And anyone with a halfway modern knowledge of Batman comics will have deduced Arkham Knight's boring identity as soon as he appears, and everyone else will just get it halfway into the game. There's not enough threat, especially with Gotham completely emptied, and the side villains like Two-Face and the Penguin feel crowbarred into the game. The other Arkhams had me hooked from beginning to end, but here I was pretty bored if anything. Well, at least story-wise. In terms of actual gameplay, Batman Arkham Knight is mostly amazing. The combat is still superb, besting all the imitators and just feeling more rhythmic than the "this just feels wrong" of Arkham Origins, meaning that every fight is fun. The addition of fear takedowns that allow you to quickly take up to 5 enemies at once seems initially cheap, but once you realise just how many enemies you'll be facing, having the opportunity to quickly dispatch a few in heavily dramatic fashion becomes very welcome. There's even the odd moment where you can play other characters too, which are a neat change of pace. Staff encounters have been similarly tweaked with the additions of vertical vents and more intelligent enemies. It's Gotham City though that's the star of the show. It's wonderfully realised with an insane amount of detail that Arkham Origins just lacked. There's always a grapple point somewhere, Batman can get around Gotham smoothly and easily, and it is never boring to explore. It's all the ultimate culmination of everything Rocksteady has been doing with Batman, and it's wonderful. Of course, the big new addition to gameplay is the iconic Batmobile, and it is really a love it or hate it job. I'm both. I love driving around Gotham streets, watching cowardly criminals scattered before my mighty wheels. Gorgeous stuff. What I don't like is holding a button and transforming the car into the ultimate shooty bang bang death machine. It's fairly entertaining, but it feels like it's been imported from a Transformers game and doesn't really fit the Arkham style. Then we have the racetracks. Riddler's back, and for God knows what reason, he's decided to build a load of really annoying racetracks in the sewers under the city. They're challenging, but not really that fun. That really goes for all the Riddler stuff. 3 games in, and while I'm impressed with the level of creativity in Rocksteady's challenges, the whole idea of Riddler trophies has got a little boring now. I like the in-person appearances of the Riddler, with Batman trying to save Catwoman from a bomb strapped to her neck, but then Rocksteady give up with cleverness altogether and introduce the cheesiest, most video gamey boss fight in the entire series. But on to what you really want to know, how it looks and how it now runs. Before the big patch I could only play with all the pathetic few settings turned to low, and while Arkham Knight still looked pretty good, many textures wouldn't load, and frankly Arkham City looked better. Now in the final release I've got textures on low, but the texture problem's been sorted and everything else is on high, with even a couple of ultra special Nvidia effects turned on. If only this had all been in there from the start, eh? Voice acting as mentioned is generally great, but the music is sadly boring, which is a shame as I like the first 2 games' soundtracks. Overall there's a ton of content here. I'm currently sitting at 60 hours and I've only just scratched New Game Plus. Batman Arkham Knight is a great game, but it's not as good as Rocksteady's previous 2 titles. The story attempts interesting things but falls flat, particularly anything to do with the titular Arkham Knight. The gameplay is mostly utterly awesome in combat, stealth and exploration, with Gotham City a wonderfully detailed and polished playground, and it's a joy to explore. The Batmobile, however, makes things ridiculous, bringing a vehicle shooter into a game not built for it, and most of the optional side missions feel forced in. Still, these missions are at least fun, with the exception of Riddler stuff which is either tired or annoying. Finally, the PC version is at last at the state it should have been in June, stable for the most part. Arkham Knight isn't perfect, and it's not messing with our Game of the Year awards after all, but it's still a very enjoyable Batman game. And at the end of the day, isn't that the main thing? In the end, I gave Batman Arkham Knight, the PC version, a very good score of 8.0. Thanks for watching everyone, Chris Capel and GameWatcher out. Thanks for watching again, guys. If you enjoyed the review, you can help us out by subscribing to our YouTube channel, checking out our Twitter feed, and of course visiting GameWatcher.com for all your PC gaming needs.
There's a lot more to come.